Pros in Cars with Dr. Casey Avey. Doctor, hi. This evening, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good. Well, can you state your credentials and what you specialize in?
Sure. My name is Casey Avey, and I'm a teacher. Yay, go teachers. I teach in the middle school setting, and I'm a special education teacher, to be more exact. I work with kiddos that have emotional disturbances, and usually those are ones that are maybe on the more severe side, that the kiddos have difficulty in a traditional education setting, as you and I are probably more used to.
And so what would you say that special education in general, what's its main focus?
Well, as special education teachers and as a whole, we work with students that have a disability and come up with plans and ways to provide interventions and accommodations or modifications to help them be more successful in a school setting. That is our main goal, is to be able to help these kids with plans to help them learn the best in school, to become leaders in their community, to be able to progress from level to level.
And so how long have you been a special education teacher?
I've been in the education field for 22 years.
How has the industry changed since you started?
In 22 years, we've seen a big push for integration, for inclusion.
Elaborate.
Well, the push for all students to be in the regular classroom, in a not necessarily traditional setting, but to be included with their age grade level peers. There's been a big push, with Common Core and with all of the other standards initiatives over the years to have all students achieve and all students succeed. It's just trying to help them individually. That is our main focus. Also, technology's been huge. When I first started teaching, I didn't even have a computer. Just kind of dates me, I guess. But,
So this is kind of the no child left behind concept?
well, kind of. It's changed. It changes names, and I don't want to get too political here. But it changes names,
Okay.
and little bits are tweaked here and there. But I mean, yes, in reality, you don't want to count anyone out or leave anyone behind. But the cold hard truth is, not everybody learns the same way, and we can't teach like we were teaching 10 years ago or 20 years ago, or how we were when we were in school.
If we fast forward 10 years from now, what does special education look like?
Well, I think it'll look a lot different. I think in a perfect world, I think we would be moving to more of a comprehensive school setting, where we are including, healthcare, where we're including counseling, where we're including job skills in our schools, and we're having this multi-dimensional approach to teaching kids, not just you go to math and learn math and then that's over and you move on to language arts. It's setting up these kids with their passions and things that they're good at, and helping them find those things in the same setting. Just being able to educate the whole child in the world that we live in now, and it's totally different than what it was yesterday.
From a leadership standpoint, what does it take to be a leader in this industry?
Being a leader requires you to kind of get out of the box and break free, to try new things and not be afraid to fail. I fail on a daily basis. I guess I maybe shouldn't say that out loud, but I'm proud of it. My students enjoy seeing me mess up, because I think so many times kids see adults as these all-powerful people that know everything, and I'm real honest with my students that problems don't go away when you're older. They're different. Let's work on them. Here are some of the problems I face on a daily basis. Here's where I've really messed up, and I think they like to see how I work through things, and that's a good modeling for them. And I think they enjoy seeing when I don't handle maybe things the the right way, and they say, oh my gosh, maybe you should have tried this. Oh yeah, that's great. You're absolutely right. So part of the leadership is I have to try new and innovative ways to help these kids, whether I have special education students or whether I have gifted students, whether I have regular education students. That's part of it. Just being able to let go of, well, this is how I taught, and this is how I learned best, but trying some new things and figuring out what interests them to help make my teaching more appealing to them. I mean, we're competing with the internet and these video games and these great fun things. Sitting in a classroom listening to a teacher for 45 minutes isn't going to cut it. Being a leader, and I think being a leader isn't always administrative. Being a leader is just stepping out and saying, I'm going to try this, come with me to another teacher, being a mentor to another teacher. There's so many different ways to show leadership in schools.
And so staying on the leadership topic, developing leadership capabilities is such a popular topic these days. In your opinion, why don't more organizations invest in developing these capabilities in their employees and their teachers and their staffs?
Sure. Well, to stay politically away, I can say money real quick because finances in schools are always top front, but I'm not going to cover that because I can't control that. I think one of the difficulties in schools is we're data driven, and unfortunately we're data driven, and it's hard to measure those things, so that becomes difficult. I don't know, since it's such a new topic, I don't know if people always see the value in that. Teachers get really, and I'm not going to bash teachers because I am one, but they'll say, I got too much on my plate, I'm doing too many things, I don't want to be a leader, just someone tell me what to do. And I think that's kind of an old school mentality when we realize that we're leaders without us knowing it. There are so many different ways we can work together to develop leadership that doesn't have to be more work.
22 years is a long time. If you were just starting your job tomorrow or today, what would you do differently starting out?
I probably would seek out more mentors. I would really go to my other teachers and use those resources. A lot of teachers have a lot of experience that have been there for a while. They know things where I can at least ask and get some other opinions. Nowadays, I work as an online mentor for some groups, and it's amazing the questions. Oh, I didn't want to bother you with that, and I remember feeling that same way.
You're busy. I didn't want to bother. Well, really, you're probably kicked up on your desk with your feet up.
Yeah, of course.
Having some coffee and some crackers or whatever.
But I like it when people ask me for advice. I like to be able to share what I think is some of my strengths. I also love to, one of my commandments that I work on with my students, one of my commandments is to acknowledge others. So I try to be a big advocate and a big acknowledger of others in our school when they're fabulous at doing this, that, or the other. I think I would have taken things a lot less seriously. There was an old adage when I went to school to be a teacher. It said, don't smile till Thanksgiving. That you can't let them see you smile. And I think I would have had more fun at the start. Just been the last probably 10 years that I've realized that it's okay to have fun and be goofy and let the kids see that. They will still respect you and love you. And
what's your favorite leadership quote or quote from a leader or somebody you look up to, and how do you live it out on a daily basis through your position?
Got it. My quote that I like to use in my classroom is from Michelangelo, which I admire him. I guess
sure.
He was a great sculptor, but it's ancora imparo, and that means yet I am learning, because I think that's probably the basis of everything that I do. I'm always a learner. I think when you shut yourself off to learning and you're not self-aware, that's where the problems arise in any job, in any field, anywhere. If I'm faced with a difficult situation or a difficult kiddo, I try to look at what can they teach me, either about my own life, about how I treat other students, about relationships. And these kids, like I said, they teach me way more than I teach them. I guess we shouldn't admit that.
Dr. Avey, it's been a pleasure to have you in my car.
Thank you. I'm glad I get to be your inaugural pro in the car.
Thank you very much.